Yeah.
This was the discovery of a local archaeobotanist.
An archaeobotanist?
Yeah, she studies, she's paid to study plant remains from Native American sites all over the country. So they send her little boxes of charcoal and corn and whatnot. But she was mushrooming along this hillside in the spring. And because she's trained as an archaeobotanist and archaeologist, she knew what these pits here were.
Okay.
And it was undiscovered until then.
What year was this?
Well, this was about 10 years ago, but 100 years of biologists here, and because none of them are trained in that, they didn't even observe these. But once you notice them,
they're so obvious, right?
Something is quite very obvious here. So these were Native American caching pits, and
what does that mean?
well, it means that they stored their food in it from, say, the summer, fall for the lean time of year, which would have been, like very early spring, late winter.
Okay.
So they probably use these to store fish, acorns especially, berries, and anything that might have helped them tide them over the next season. So.
And how were they stored in these pits? Did they have covering? Were they deeper at one point?
Oh yes, they were quite a bit deeper, and food was then stored in either clay pots or in birch bark baskets. So the hole was dug, and of course by hand, just with a fire-hardened stick, but then it's lined with grasses or bark, and the materials are stored in there, and then again covered with grasses and bark, and then covered with probably logs, because, well, animals are going to be the first ones to find these. We even experimentally dug one out and filled it with store-bought stuff. And a coyote found that, in a week probably, and lived in it all winter long.
So does the location of these caches then indicate that they lived
it does.
in really near vicinity?
What I've been doing over the last 10 years or so is walking all of our property to look at where these cache pits are. There's a whole bunch of groups here. There's a group up on top, and there's a group right over there, and a group around this point, but there are literally thousands of them on our property, and because we're so undeveloped, it's never been developed, that they're still here. These, of course, would have been long gone with
the developer, or development.